Ooh, wow. How's everybody doing? Well, we are going to do incompatibility. Well, no, compatibility of signs. Today we are focusing on fixed air and mutable air. Aquarius and Gemini. Now, again, I love you. I love you. Thank you for your donations in my GoFundMe page.com/public charity. The money goes for projects that I launch in the community. You know, I run a community theater, and we have a lot of plays I have in mind. I wrote about 4 plays while we were in hiatus. Remember, the theater season is closed. It's been closed now for quite some time. And then I run the garden committee. As you know, I have a garden where I sit as the fundraising chair. And that's been closed too. We're out of season. And I'm also on recess at Columbia University where I'm pursuing my postgraduate studies. So I've had a lot of time in my hands. So I've been developing the moon phases. A lot of you want to know about the moon phases. I didn't forget. So I've been developing that and doing empirical research on that. I also updated my website. I had to fire a few people from my management team and hire new ones, you know. So there's been a lot of transition going on, you know. I'm 51 years old and I'm about to enter my second Saturn return, which is here to hit at age 54. The Saturn return cycle is for the second half of life is age 54 to 57. So now that I have a couple of websites. I've done theater, and now I have a contract to write a few books. And now I'm gonna go into broadcast television. Now I've always had a license for broadcast television, but I just never used it. Now the next step after YouTube is to actually go into syndication and broadcast television. So that's under development, and it will be both in Spanish and in English. Yes. So there's a lot of things going on. I'm going to continue the theater and I'm hiring another management team to take over the theater while I develop this new area in my life where I will be now in broadcast television. You know, very different from the world of soap operas, which I came from, and the theater. So, um, wonderful stuff. Understand that none of this would have been possible without your monetary contributions. And you know me, I'm very transparent. I keep the books. I'm Virgo. I keep the books, the records. You're welcome to come to New York and see my plays. You all know that. You know, I have a website that publishes all my productions. And if you're giving, you got to come and see where your money's going. You know? So that would be the epitome. I'm also going to Singapore on June 14th and to Shanghai. You know, I have the Dream Trips business, and I would love for you to be there with me in Singapore, the business capital in the world, okay? A charmed life. I live it, so can you. So today, we are talking about Aquarius and Gemini. Fixed air and mutable air. Well, first of all, let's go through the preliminaries. It's air. So that's a trine. Okay? That's a trine. So air and air works well together. They work well together. Fucking Aquarius. Fucking Aquarius. Not the women, the men. Again, these men are hot, sexy. Even straight men can't resist them. But when it comes to relationships, interpersonal relationships, oh my God. Oh my God. A disaster. A disaster. The Aquarian male. He ain't into that. He ain't into it. Listen, the only way that this man finds relationships important and useful is if there's something for him to gain from it. But if it's interpersonal, understand, maybe I need to define a couple of terms here. You have the term interpersonal and the term impersonal. You've heard me use these terms before. When we deal with impersonality, you're dealing with a person who could give a shit about you on a personal level. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that this is necessarily bad or that there is a bad intention. It's simply someone who's psychologically, emotionally, and intellectually unaware of him or herself and the partner that he or she is with. Even if they know who they are or they think they know who they are, they don't invest enough energy to step outside of themselves to invest in the knowledge of another individual. Gemini does this on a superficial level, and Libra, cardinal air, does it in an intimate, interpersonal way, which is the right way to do it, which is why Libra is a cardinal air sign and the highest and the most superior of all the signs of the zodiac, including Capricorn, because we're talking here esoteric. Now, if we're dealing with the exoteric, Capricorn is the king and the earth queen. But if we're dealing with spiritual astrology, which is the esoteric, the Hermetic, the Gnostic, it is Libra that holds that throne. Which is why I'm so fucking hard on Libras. Because Libra holds a very powerful cosmic esoteric position. I make no apologies the way I treat Libra. Libra has a high moral and esoteric responsibility. So we can't afford bullshit here. You know me, I keep it real and straight with no chaser. So, in this case, you have to ask yourself, who's the boss? Who's the boss? In this case, it goes to Libra, cardinal air. Libra knows right from wrong and knows rightful action from wrongful action. Libra knows how to balance and how to bring into balance that which is unbalanced. Understand the importance of Libra. In nature, we see this at the fall, at the autumn equinox, where day and night are equal. In Capricorn, the night is longer than the day. In Cancer, the day is longer than the night. In Aries, the sun shines its brightest, reflecting the stars of Orion, Sirius, and those of Betelgeuse. Ah, you didn't know that. The Aries point, where all the different great circles intersect. So even in nature, we see this balance. Libra is deep, it's no joke, which is why she and he are held to a higher standard. We cannot afford to make mistakes here. With none of the cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. So, where do we see this reflection in nature with fixed air and mutable air? Now, when you have these two opposing crashing a square, because you have a fixity and a mutuality, The mutuality is what gives us the seasons. Winter, spring, summer, fall is the rotation of our planet around its own axis, giving us day and night. It's the rotation of the earth around the ecliptic, around the sun, giving us the year. Without this order, there's no life. Understand the importance of the cardinality of Libra, so we can ascribe the perfect beauty, perfect harmony with the planets in their orbits and their moons and their asteroids and the proper rising of and setting of the sun and the tides of the moon pulling our oceans and the different sea animals that feed around this time of the full moon and the new moon. It is beauty reflected in nature and perfect harmony of the cosmos. This is reflected in Libra, perfect harmony and balance, not just of nature, but of the cosmos. It's beautiful. It is Venus. It is Libra as air. And in fixity in Earth, it is the Atlas, the one who holds the globe, which is represented by Taurus, the Earth side of Venus, versus the intellectual side of Venus, which is seen in the cardinality of Libra. Right? So, where do we see this in nature? Well, when you deal with the ionosphere, the stratosphere, the ozone layer, and the different levels of pockets of air, and then the ozone layer represents Aquarius. It is the fixity air. Radiation from the sun cannot penetrate and destroy the plant life, destroy the animal life, and destroy the genetic norm of the human species in this planet. The ozone layer, which is Aquarius, fixed air, protects the earth and all that's underneath it from the powerful rays and the horrifying, terrifying combustions of space and interstellar space, and all the debris and radiation and different chemistries that are not even in our periodic table that can come into Earth and harm all of life, destroying the life wave of this planet. Understand the importance of fixity of air, Aquarius. It is the ozone holding the earth intact so nothing can come into the earth and destroy the beauty that the Libra cardinality has put in place. We have here a merging of two complexities. A merging of two complexities. So we can ascribe this to other levels of nature. But this one suits our purpose for now. So the next question is, how do we connect this to the human ego and personality? Right? So, first of all, if we're dealing with a couple below age 30, we're dealing with total immaturity and extremes of behavior coupled by the emerging mentality that's shaping and concentrating the ego of the person. Okay? Aquarius deals with self-knowledge, connecting to a higher self, connecting to something higher than you that can serve as a basis or a cornerstone of a knowledge that's unattainable here on this planet. But Aquarius, representing God and representing the final to the last, or we call it the penultimate step before we go into Pisces, When we go into Pisces, concerns of the ego and personality ceases. In Pisces, I go like this. Fernando, it was wonderful knowing you. It was great knowing you. But now you gotta die, and the soul now gotta go and reincarnate into another personality. That will not be Fernando, it'll be somebody else. So now I take out one cloak, and then I have the soul, and the soul reincarnates and takes another personality, and hence is the wheel of rebirth, which Aquarius symbolizes as well. We can break away from the wheel of rebirth, or we can stay enslaved to it, or we can choose to reach our highest level of godhood like Jesus Christ did, like Buddha did, like Krishna did, like Brahman did, and all the great mystics, Gandhi of the ages. They're not unique in that way. Like Jesus said in the Gospels, we have the ability to reach godhood, and that's what Jesus was professing. And Jesus knew it. He tapped into it. But the church did not want individual humans to tap into that higher level within them, because then you can't go to church and pay tithes, because church is a business. So they had to kill Jesus, because it's better for business to be enslaved than to be liberated. Being liberated is not good for business. So you know what the church is about. And it's been that way since the age of the Crusades. Of this I will speak no further. But understand that all of this is a game. It's a game. And what a fucking game it is. Aquarius represents the truth, the revealer, while Gemini represents the game. You know, Gemini is sexy, just like Aquarius. And it is the trickster, the bagaman, the sexy man, the sexy woman, the prostitute, the call girl, the harlot, the sex worker, and all in between, the drug addict, the redeemer, the enslaver, the liar, the thief, the redeemer, the truth seeker, and blah, 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 blah. Gemini encompasses it all, but they're all different reflections of the same truth, which Aquarius ultimately symbolizes. So, in order to understand this combination between Gemini and Aquarius, understand that the romance and the drama or the soap opera will be intellectual. And it will play in their heads, both Gemini and Aquarius. Because let me tell you, Aquarius and Gemini have a fascinating ability of fabricating a whole different entire life in their head that has no basis with reality. And that is some fucking shit. Ooh, I gotta take a drink. It's 7:02 in the morning, but I just threw it like an Oscars party. That's why I'm dressed and still lit. You know, so I said, you know what? Let me make a video. You know, because I'm in school and I'm doing other things and I know, I do what I do. But I take advantage of my energy and let me throw you here a freebie. But really, this combination is something else. Because for there to be congruency and a harmony, there has to be a meeting of the mind between Gemini and Aquarius. Because when it comes to intelligence, they do respect each other. Gemini is fascinated by the intellectual aloofness of Aquarius, despite his sexiness. You know, the Aquarius woman is sexy, but not in the way that the Aquarian man is. The Aquarian woman, remember, the opposite polarity of Aquarius is Leo. But the expression polarity of Leo, you don't see it in the male. You see it in the female. The Aquarian woman can be mistaken for a Leo, especially if she knows who she is and if she's in tune and in touch with her sexuality and her sensuality. Because there's a difference. For the Aquarian woman not to appear uptight and cold and difficult, she needs to be comfortable in these two fields, the sensuality and the sexuality. She needs to be connected to both. Otherwise, she's going to come across as awkward and feel insecure. And if she allows that to vibrate outside of her, she's going to attract almost always the wrong partner, especially sexually. It'll be incompatibility. Remember, we are all magnets of our thoughts. Whatever is in our thoughts, that's going to be the barometer that's going to attract to us that which we project within our thoughts. So if you are insecure, you're going to attract an insecure partner. Now, if you feel that you're all of that in a bag of chips, whether man or woman, you're going to attract the very same type of personality and energy to you. Like attracts like. That is a universal law, folks. So if you are in a relationship that's bringing you misery and unhappiness, understand that this may be a reflection of a part of you that you may have disowned within yourself that now is coming back to you in the form of a partner. Have you thought about that? Ah. I don't know why I'm so giggling and giddy and happy today. That's the Leo in me. You know, we just had a Leo full moon. And I'm on Leo, so I feel the energy. So I'm like, I see a red carpet in front of me and me walking in the red pocket with a scepter. Well, come on, you all know I'm a little bit of a narcissist, you know. Oh, that's Leo. No worries, no apologies. I balance it. No, I got Libra rising, so I'm balancing it. Anyway, this is the situation. This is the situation. Gotta get all passionate and shit. My fucking thing be falling off. Well, my thing, my headset. Again, when you have Aquarius and Gemini, whether you're dealing with a man or a woman from either Aquarius or Gemini, you have to understand that the courtship and the game and the drama has to play out in the mind. Gemini, if you're dealing with the Aquarian man and a Gemini woman, oh my God. Like Janice from Friends, oh my God. You know, it is, first of all, what a fucking sexy combination is that. The Aquarian man and the Gemini woman. The Gemini woman is delish. Delish. A beautiful woman, like the Leo woman, And, oh my God, she's the life essence. My tiger tooth from Kenya is moving on its own. You saw that, right? Okay? Understand that, oh my God, I truly don't know how to describe it. The Gemini woman, heaven. Heaven. But not heaven like the Scorpio woman or the Cancer woman or the Pisces woman. It's different. Here, this heaven, this bliss, this ecstasy is expressed in air, not in water. When it's expressed in water, it's expressed in sex. But when it's expressed in air, it's expressed in mental sex. Now you got to ask yourself, which one is better? Mental sex or physical sex? Which one can you control and which one can you not control? Fun stuff. Unfortunately, we are out of time.